Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where today I'm going to be doing a chatty get ready with me and just giving you a bit of a life update. Travel, summer plans, family weddings, things like that. I'm going to be putting on some eyeshadow and a little bit of face product. I don't do much, but if you're interested in just, watching an eyeshadow video and hearing about life in general, then don't go anywhere. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name's Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I love to play with colorful eyeshadow, and I typically upload at least 3 videos a week, all kinds of eyeshadow related content. So if you're interested in seeing lots of colorful content on your timeline, I hope you consider liking and subscribing. Okay, I'm going to start off by putting something on my lips because they're dry. I just have a ColourPop lip oil. This is the shade Hey, and I really do not care about the shade right now. It's just, I don't have chapstick right next to me, so it's going to be lip oil. But these are actually super hydrating. I really, really like the ColourPop lip oils. I don't like really goopy or sticky lip products. I like very hydrating, smooth, creamy ones. I don't like matte lipsticks and really sticky glosses. So the ColourPop lip oils, I can highly, highly recommend them. They're really nice, hydrating, smooth, and they have a little bit of color, but not too much. Now for today's eye look, I actually want to do something a little bit different. I feel like too many of my looks lately have been expected and maybe a little bit more, not fully, but a little bit more monochromatic. I was recently pre-filming something, and I'll tell you why in a little while. But when I was going over that video, I really loved the eye look, and it wasn't expected. It was a little bit different, and I love colorful eyeshadow, so I want to challenge myself to combine colors that I might not think of or do something a little bit outside of my comfort zone just so that I can grow. And so today I'm going to be doing a berry and mint eyeshadow look. And now I've seen Aniela Kanyikvis do this, so I know that it can be done well. Whether or not I pull it off is to be determined, but I'm going to use my ColourPop Mint to Be palette and my Melt Amor y Mariposas palette because I've got berries in here. And yeah, let's get going. First, I'm going to start with my eyebrows. I don't always do my eyebrows, but I have been doing them more lately because I like the way that you can accentuate the arch. So for my eyebrows, I might use an eyeshadow, or I might use, like, this is an actual brow product from Maybelline. It's called Express Brow. And then I also have this brow glue from NYX. I got this on Amazon. And it just keeps the hairs in place. So in today's video, I want to just give you a bit of a life update and talk about what's going on in my world. You know, summer plans, school, family activities, things like that. Just chat, just hang out and chat. So that's what we're going to do. So let's talk about our summer plans. I am currently filming this in June. And we actually have 2 family weddings this summer. Well, towards the end of the summer, but still technically in the summer. And both of them are a few thousand miles away. And so we were trying to figure out, okay, how can we make it to these weddings and still work within my husband's PTO, and taking into consideration the cost of travel, whether you fly or drive or walk or bicycle, I don't know. So we were going back and forth and looking at, the cost of renting a car or the wear and tear on our own car if we drive. And now we have a family of 4, so flying is going to be more expensive. And then, of course, with the baby and flying, you have to bring all the paraphernalia. So you have to, all this checked baggage you have to pay for. But if you drive, you have to deal with gas prices. It's a lot. That's literally all I do for my brows. I'm going to prime my eyes using the Glamlight Icing Primer in the shade White Frosting. So we were looking at the cost of what it would be for us to get to these weddings, and the weddings are 3 weeks apart from one another, and they're in the same general region where a lot of our family is. And so we were like, okay, well, maybe we could go in for a month and crash at someone's house, spend lots of time hanging out with the family, which would be nice. And then we could, we'll get there right before the first wedding, hang out, and then leave right after the second wedding. But honestly, it's still a month of time. It's a month away from his job. It's a month away from home. It's a month away from, we would have to either get our dog boarded or take her with us. And we would have to, how when you visit somebody and stay in their home, like for a longer visit, more like a week or more, it gets to the point where you're there visiting, but they still have to live their lives. They still have to do the dishes and fold laundry. They still have to take their kids to appointments. They still have to do things. And so you end up feeling like you're kind of in the way, because people's lives don't just stop when you come to town. Like, they might be able to take a couple days break, but they still have to go about their regular lives while you're just hovering because your life has paused. I mean, like, you know, your regular life has paused. And I think that that's how it would be. Like, it'd be really lovely to see the family for a longer amount of time, and the kids especially would love it. But I think at some point we would be itching to come home because we have our own things that need to be done here at home. In the melt palette, I'm going to take the shade Maria right here. So what we've decided to do is make one of the weddings, but we're not going to make the second one. And that was a hard decision because obviously we want to make both. But it's just not realistic. It's just not. So we're going to travel in by car and arrive about a week before the first wedding. We'll use that time to visit with family, and our daughters are in the wedding, so part of that time will be spent getting ready for the wedding, making sure they have everything they need. They both have their dresses, but now they need shoes, and our baby is learning how to walk with shoes. She's pretty much figured it out, but it's a new experience for her, right? Because her little toes can't grab into the floor. Anyway, part of that time will be spent with wedding preparations and helping, getting ready for things, and then we will have the wedding and spend a few more days hanging out with people and then head home. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be the month-long visit, but it's still going to be really nice to see people, and it'll be nice to spend time with them. And I'm glad that we can at least make one wedding. You know, when you live really far away, you can't expect people to build their lives around you or your schedule. It's a bummer we can't make both, but I'm glad we can make at least one. I don't really have a lighter color within the Amor y Mariposas palette that I want to use to blend this out. I have several that I can use. I have a couple neutrals and then a light pink, but I don't really want to use any of those. So I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and gently work at these edges to buff them out. If I really feel like it's not working great, then I'll grab the neutral. So this leads me now to why I've been pre-filming. I've started pre-filming because when we are traveling, I'm not going to be able to film, but I still want my content to be pretty consistent. So I've been filming 2 videos a day where I'm able to, and I'm just scheduling them further out, like for the time when we're gone. And so if you see any videos that don't seem to fit in with the rest of the timeline of my life, as far as, gee, I thought you got rid of that palette, that's probably why. It's probably been pre-filmed so that I can continue uploading regular content even when I'm not at home. I don't know if I'm going to bring any makeup with me. I might bring an eyeshadow palette, but I'm not going to probably do much. So yeah, I've been pre-filming for that reason. I like the fact that you can schedule on YouTube. When I discovered that, I was like, oh, game changing. Because you can't schedule on other apps. Like, you can't schedule, as far as I'm aware of, I might be wrong, but you can't schedule a post on Instagram. So you can't upload a whole bunch of content and then just schedule when it goes live, which I wish you could do, because I personally find the keeping up with social media to be kind of stressful. Why am I still blending this? It doesn't need to be blended anymore. It's time for mint. With a smaller brush, I'm going to grab the shade Seltzer in the Mint to Be palette. I personally find keeping up with social media to be stressful. Honestly, it's less stressful for me to make an eyeshadow video, take the time to edit it, upload it to the internet, than it is for me to take selfies and put them on Instagram. I find that to be much more stressful. I don't like taking selfies. I don't like trying to come up with different poses to be different from yesterday's pose and trying to look different each time. I don't know. I don't like taking selfies, and I find that a little bit stressful. Might be dorky, but it's true. Here, this is the shade Get Fresh, and I hear my baby waking up, so I might need to continue this later. But anyway, I really like that you can pre-film and schedule on YouTube. So that's what I've done. I'm pre-filming for while I'm away, and hopefully you guys won't even notice a gap. This is the general idea for the look. I want to take the Maria shade again and deepen up the outer corner some more. This is such a weird combination, but I think it's really pretty. I personally would never have thought to pair berry with mint in color or flavor. But I think it's kind of pretty. And since I'm trying to challenge myself to branch out into more unexpected color combinations, I really want to learn about color theory. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. Color theory. I'm interested in color theory. Between eyeshadow and my art business, I feel like I just don't understand color very well. I mean, I understand the basics, and I can see, okay, warm tone, cool tone, and what looks good with what, but I don't understand necessarily why. Why does this look good with that? And so I bought myself a little bitty color wheel, and I think I might find some YouTube videos on color theory so that I can learn about it, so that I can do it better. Because so often I'll see somebody pair colors together that I wouldn't have thought about and it looks great. I'm like, why does that one work? But it doesn't work when I pair two random colors. And the only thing I can figure is that it's not random. Like, the person understands color better than I do. So I'm going to try to understand color better. I'm going to take my finger. I want to grab the shade Mojito Mami. And I'm going to place that on my lid on top of the mint. And then another thing I wanted to just chat about was general health and fitness. I recently shared in a video that I had like some hair loss, probably postpartum and possibly COVID related, and what I was doing about that. And then I was talking as well about gut health and not really feeling great and what I was going to do about that. So as far as the hair loss, I haven't noticed any huge changes. I was taking some hair, like gummy vitamins for your hair, but I ran out and I haven't ordered more. However, I think they'd be so hard to measure because your hair is going to naturally grow back, over time. And so how do you know when the vitamins are helping it grow or when it's just growing back? I don't know. And the vitamins were really, really tasty, but that probably means they had a lot of sugar in them, which is not good for you. So I might order more vitamins for the hair, but overall I've noticed like my hair's not still thinning the way it was. It's definitely filled in a little bit, so I'm kind of just keeping an eye on it and seeing where it goes from here. And then gut health, I have been feeling better lately. What I was doing was I was tracking my food. I just had a little blank notebook that I was writing my food down and then how I felt that day. So I could try to tie in food to not feeling well. And that was working pretty well. There were certainly some days where I just didn't feel well. And it didn't seem to have anything to do with the food that I was eating because I might have eaten all the same things as the day before, or I might explicitly be eating really healthy stuff and just still not feel well. It didn't make sense to me, but I was tracking in case it would make sense. I'm going to pause on the eyeshadow, clean up under my eyes, and then I'll throw color down there. I just have really not much fallout, but I'm just going to take some concealer and put that here. And I'll probably just do this one side for now because I'm almost done talking about the things that I wanted to update you on. So I'm going to finish this eye and then go off camera and finish everything else up. That way this video doesn't go on forever. And if my baby wakes up, I can take care of her and come back to this later. So anyway, as far as gut health, I wasn't noticing any patterns in what I was eating and what was setting me off. I actually took a pregnancy test because that's sort of what it was feeling like. Like, I have a very sensitive stomach. But it's usually related, like it usually gets set off by food related things, like eating too much or too little at the wrong time, too early, too late, the wrong thing, too much sugar or too much carbs, or I don't know. It's usually related to food, and at 34 years old, I've pretty well figured out what will set off my stomach. And since nothing was making sense, I'm like, well, I could be pregnant. With a smaller blending brush, I'm going to Get Fresh all the way down to the inner lower lash line. So I took a pregnancy test and it was negative, and funnily enough, since then I have pretty much felt fine. Like, I haven't had any days where I was like, maybe I need to take this test again in 3 or 4 more weeks. I haven't had anything like that. It's just been pretty well resolved, and I just don't know what was going on. Maybe I was fighting something, like my body was not happy with a bug or a virus and it was sort of working through it. Or I don't know, but I have been feeling better lately, and I'm not going to complain. With a smudger brush, I'm going back into Maria because I just want to put this out here. So I'm still going to keep tracking all of what I'm doing. I'm still keeping track of what I eat. I have made a few changes. I started pretty much skipping breakfast. It is not a difficult thing for me to skip breakfast. It's my least favorite meal of the day, and I don't usually want to eat anyway. So I realized that I was eating probably too much. Like, I don't have a terribly active life right now. Kind of stay at home, do housework, do hobbies, take care of the children. It's not super active, and so I didn't really need to be eating 3 meals a day because I wasn't that hungry at breakfast time, so I just started skipping breakfast, or I'll have the last 3 or 4 bites of my baby's meal when she gets full. And then the other thing I've very intentionally been doing is including some sort of movement every day that I can. So Usually I load up the girls and we go for walks in the evening when it's not so hot and the weather is more temperate, and we kind of just stroll around the neighborhood for a while. And that's been really nice because it gets us outside, gets us moving, and it makes us tired for bedtime later. So that's been really nice. And you know what I can't believe is that I was tracking it. So since I started walking in the evenings, I have lost like an inch in the measurement around my thighs, which is hard for me to believe because it just feels like, hey, I'm just walking. But it's been, you know, toning the muscles of my legs, and I'm not complaining. And I was just surprised at the difference that I saw and how quickly. But exercise is good for you, so I don't know why I'm surprised. I guess, I don't know. This is looking pretty. I like it. It's funky, but I like it. For my waterline, I'm going to tightline with a ColourPop Creme Gel Liner. This is the shade Big Splash. It's just a light blue. This is one of my two favorite ColourPop eyeliners. This is Big Splash, and then my other favorite is To Can Do It from their Lush Life collection. That one's like a vibrant metallic marigold. It is so good. I also think it's discontinued, so I mean, I would have bought more, but I don't actually go through eyeliner that quickly. It takes ages to go through this. But I like the To Can Do It a lot. It's great. Honestly, so far, ColourPop Creme Gel Liners have been my favorite eyeliners. I just tried the Uden's eyeliners, and they're okay, but they're not as good. They're not as creamy, not as smooth. And the pigment varies too. Like, I got lavender and orange. The orange is way, way more saturated and vibrant than the lavender. So I think that I still prefer ColourPop. Okay, here's the eye look. Yeah, I think it's really pretty. I'm gonna go off camera and finish everything up. I'll come back when I'm able to, whether it's soon or whether it's later today. You won't know because it's just gonna be in a few seconds, but I'll come back and show you how it looks and close out this video. Okay, here's the eye look. I think it's really beautiful and interesting. I love it. I am now going to finish up my face because there's technically a Chatty Get Ready With Me, so I should finish getting ready with you. Once I did this eye look, I cleaned up under my eyes with a concealer. Now I'm just taking a CoverGirl face powder, and I have oily skin, especially in the T-zone, so I usually just put this on top of the concealer and up in my forehead because it absorbs the oils. And that's that. So now I've been enjoying doing face highlighter lately instead of blush and bronzer. I just like to do a little face highlighter. So I have the Frosé palette from BH Cosmetics. This is pretty well like a pink peachy sort of highlighter palette, but it's really nice. Sometimes I'll use a shade from my eyeshadow palette. I've been doing that a lot more lately, where if I have a really light iridescent shimmer, I'll use that as a face highlighter. Today I'm gonna grab the shade Bubbly, which is kind of white, but it has a shift of pink. And I don't do too much. I just put like one pass through the highlighter and then bring it up onto my cheekbone. It's just a little bit. Yesterday I was using the Orange Sorbet palette from BH Cosmetics, the Sweet Shop series, and I used one of those eyeshadows as a highlighter, so I had this like light orange sheen, and it was pretty. Another time I used like a green highlighter. What palette was that? Oh, it was the In the Limelight palette from ColourPop. I just grabbed one of the shadows and I used it as a face highlighter, so I had a greenish tinted highlighter that just really, really subtly accentuated that point on the face and also matched the eye look. So that was fun. And now I'm going to set everything. Then I do mascara because my mascara is not waterproof, and so if I put it on before I set the face, unpleasantness ensues. So I always do mascara last. I remember there was one more thing I wanted to tell you about. So my husband, I told you a while ago that he was applying to a school. Well, he was accepted to the school of his choice. And so part of our trip when we travel in for the wedding is going to be traveling into the state where his school is located, and he'll be doing orientation. He doesn't need to go back to the school very often. Most of his program's going to be online, but once in a while he's going to have to do a little bit of time at the school itself. So this is just the first trip there and get to meet people and have, you know, orientation. So there you go. That's a bit of a life update, what has been going on my side of things. Please comment below with what your summer plans are. I'd love to chat with you about what's happening in your lives. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you like the eye look. I love it. Again, I never would have thought to pair these two colors, but I think they're really beautiful, and I'm really excited to push myself a little bit into more unusual color combination territory, just to stretch myself, challenge myself, branch out of the safe zone of, you know, orange and green, blue and purple, pink and red, you know. So I'm gonna have fun with this. I hope you enjoy the eye look. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see lots more colorful content, and until I see you again in my next video, I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.